I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Zach.
And we're traveling A to Z.
This week we're in Mexico.
We're going to show you our 4 stops on our 7-day cruise through the Mexican Riviera. We're going to stop at Ensenada, Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, and Mazatlan. Our first stop is to Ensenada.
We made it to Ensenada, Mexico. We're going to go explore and go on a blowhole tour.
We're going on the Bufadora Adventures and City Highlights tour.
We made it to Ensenada!
Not far from getting off the boat was a man holding a sign for our tour. On the bus ride to La Bufadora, which is approximately 45 minutes southwest of the city, they talked about the city of Ensenada and gave us a little tour. Ensenada is a port city on the Pacific coast of Mexico's Baja California Peninsula. The city is surrounded by mountains and has a C shape where the port is located. The city is an international trade center and the home to the Port of Ensenada, the second busiest port in Mexico. From the cruise ship is around a 45-minute bus ride to the natural geyser. The Bufadora is also a flea market and has around 300 shops. As you walk through the street to La Bufadora, the vendors are on each side. The shops sell different souvenirs such as shirts and blankets and hats and lots of different trinkets. They also have vendors selling different food and drinks. At the end of the vendor area, you get to a cliffside, and that's where you'll find the La Bufadora. You'll also find the Ensenada sign where you can take pictures.
We're in the Bufadora in Ensenada, Mexico.
Which is a blowhole that's supposed to be one of the biggest in the world, and it's supposed to go up to 100 feet at high tide, if you're lucky. Woo-hoo!
The Bufadora is considered a marine geyser. It does not have a thermal source. In this case, the spout of seawater is a result of air trapped in a sea cave during high tide that explodes upward. Air is forced into the cave by wave action and is released when the water recedes, ejecting water up to 100 feet above sea level. This interaction creates a spout and a really loud, thunderous noise.
That was probably a good 60, 70 feet. It was recommended that you can't go to Ensenada without a shrimp taco. Lillian's by La Bufadora is supposed to be the best taco place. So he got a shrimp one and I got a chicken one. And so far, they're really good, but it's the only tacos we tried, so. But they are really good. Yum.
I got a shrimp taco and it is delicious.
We're now heading to the Hotel Riviera de Pacifico, which was a hotel and casino that opened in 1930. The casino was shut down in 1938 due to Mexico banning gambling. It was then used by the military during the Second World War. At the end of the war, one of the original shareholders gave the hotel to a young lady with whom he was in love with, Marjorie King Plant. Plant ran the hotel successfully with her Mexican lawyer and husband. To have the property in Mexico, everything had to be in the husband's name. The husband had a drinking problem, and eventually, Marjorie lost everything and went back to the United States. The husband was not paying his taxes and fees to the government, therefore he ended up having to give the building back to the city in 1964. The building is now a cultural center and museum. The margarita has been claimed to be invented in several different places. One claim was that it was invented at the Hotel Riviera del Pacifico for Marjorie King Plant at the time when she was the joint owner. And margarita is a Spanish version of the name Marjorie. We had a chance to try the margarita and a Mexican Coke at the casino's bar.
This is a margarita. Apparently this is where they invented the margarita. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say. Cheers. It's blended and it's delicious.
After our margaritas, we got dropped off in the historic downtown Ensenada, which had a lot of shops. This is about a 20-minute walk from the cruise ship. Right at the port of Ensenada, they have a fun little water feature and signs about the history of the port. It is supposedly one of the most beautiful ports in the world.
We
we are on the way to Cabo, and we are gonna do a snorkeling, kayaking, and paddle adventure. So hopefully it's good. It's through the cruise ship. It's Cabo, you take a tender to get from the cruise ship to Cabo. Cabo. Now we're finding our sign to start our tour. We're doing a 3-in-1 paddle, kayak, and snorkel. After finding our meeting spot, we walked to a building where we got snorkel gear. So they have the dolphin show, but this is where we meet for the snorkeling. So we're getting all set up to go. At the Cabo Dolphins Resort, they have a bathroom and an area where they set us up with all the snorkeling gear. We then walk back to the pier where we get on a Zodiac to go on our tour. We're on a boat to go snorkeling. On our boat ride, we stop by the famous Cabo Arch.
Out the one and only NCR to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico!
The Zodiac ride was fun. The driver took us on some bumps and did some spins and made it a little more adventurous. Norwegian Cruise Lines books through Cabo Adventures, which is who we took the snorkel trip with. They drove us to Chileno Bay, which is where we snorkeled and also did our kayaking and paddleboarding. Getting ready to snorkel in Cabo. We're snorkeling Chileno Bay, which has calm, shallow waters, making it the go-to spot for snorkelers. It's one of the top snorkel locations in Los Cabos to go to. Chileno Bay sets it apart from other beaches because it's very sheltered. It's enclosed to the north and south by high and long-fingered rocks. The beach is eastward into the Sea of Cortez, which cuts down the southern summer swells and the western winter swells, helping to keep the current still all year round. A little deeper from the beach is Chileno Reef, which is a stretch of pristine coral gardens and rock reefs that start pretty close to the shore, so not a lot of swimming is required. A sea urchin. Oh, he is moving all over the place.
Trying to run away.
Oh my gosh. He's spiky. Here, you want to try it?
Sure. There you go.
Right?
Yep.
Spiky.
He's trying to run away.
Huh?
I know.
He thinks they're going to eat him.
Oh yes, this is called uni.
Uni.
And it's around $50 in your favorite sushi bar.
Since we spent so much time snorkeling and kayaking, we did not have any time to paddleboard, but you had a choice to do what you wanted. Kayaking in Cabo, baby! After our snorkel tour, we had free time to go look at the markets. We also watched some of the sea lions beg for food. They're literally sitting at our tender spot. We're now heading to Puerto Vallarta.
We are in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
One of the top things to see while in Puerto Vallarta is to go to the downtown Puerto Vallarta area. The downtown has a whole bunch of restaurants, shopping with unique boutiques and handmade crafts and jewelry. They have a beautiful church called the Parish of Our Lady of Guadalupe. In front of the church, they had people playing music. They also had some chalk artwork, which was pretty neat to see. We then headed down towards the Malecon and strolled along the boardwalk, which is right on the ocean's edge. The Puerto Vallarta Malecon is 12 blocks and about a mile long. Here they have nightlife, artwork, restaurants, activities, and much more. We really enjoyed looking at all the different statues as you walk along the waterway.
So Puerto Vallarta was established in 1851. It has a population of about 270,000, but with the surrounding states, it's about 500,000. It's also known for its mountain range. The mountain range go all the way from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean.
We saw a show with 4 men hanging from a pole spinning. It was interesting to see.
Conchas Chinas Overlook. Seashell Overlook.
Curly seashell.
Conchas Chinas Curly Seashell Overlook. Try saying that 4 times fast.
It's a very pretty overlook, and they have some nice shopping stalls while you visit. Our next stop is to Mazatlán.
We're in Mazatlan, Mexico.
We made it to Mazatlán. We're gonna go on a city tour and go explore the old town and the Golden Triangle, I think it's what it's called. So we're gonna go check it out. So we're getting on a shuttle to get to the main terminal to get on our tour.
With a sleepy baby.
We booked a private city tour of Mazatlan, which we picked up outside of the port. The tram took us to the edge of the pier where there was a whole bunch of shops and vendors. We're currently driving through Playa Olas Alta, which is a beach area located in the southern end of Malecon. It's about a half-mile southwest of Old Mazatlan. One thing Mazatlan does have is cliff divers. We had the opportunity to see one off the side of the road. It was crazy to see how close he was to the rocks when he dove in. We made it to the old town Mazatlan, and the first thing we're going to do is go check out the church. This is the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, and it's in the center of Old Mazatlan.
So this is a beautiful church, and it's in the middle of Mazatlan Square called Immaculate Conception.
We're currently driving along the Golden Zone, which is known for its swimming beaches and resort hotels, as well as the colorful Mazatlan sign. Unfortunately, it was raining and storming the day we were visiting Mazatlan. I hope you enjoyed exploring some of the stops on our Mexican Riviera cruise. Please subscribe below to follow more of our adventures.